guys, I hope you're having a great day. God dropped a word on my spirit today, and it's talking about prolonged barrenness. So let's kind of dive into this word a little bit more together. The word is prolonged barrenness in your personal life is not the final report. Amen. Prolonged barrenness in your personal life is not the final report. I wanted to walk you guys through a few of the women in the Bible today that experienced seasons of extreme resistance and barrenness before they gave birth to children. Amen. And a lot of these names will probably be very familiar to you guys. So we have Sarah, who ended up being the mother of Isaac, Rebecca, who is the mother of Jacob and Esau, Rachel, who was the mother of Joseph, Hannah, who was the mother of the prophet Samuel, and Elizabeth, who ended up being the mother of John the Baptist. Now, all of these women had one thing in common. They really struggled to give birth. Amen. They experienced prolonged, not just short seasons, but prolonged seasons where they experienced barrenness and seasons where everything looked impossible in their personal lives. Amen. And I want you guys to think of this concept of barrenness symbolically. Now, this could be for some ladies out there who had been believing for a child and who have not yet been able to conceive. So this could be a literal word for some people. But for a lot of people, barrenness is symbolic in your personal life of years that you have been crying out and standing in the gap and really believing for a promise in your personal life that just looks like it's seen zero movement. Maybe you need a financial breakthrough. Maybe you need a breakthrough in your health. Maybe you need a breakthrough in the area of your relationships. Maybe it is a physical child. Maybe it's a ministry call that, just for whatever reason has not been able to work out, Barrenness in our personal lives represents the place where we have been crying out for a promise in any area of our lives, crying out for breakthrough in our personal lives. And for whatever reason, it's been stubborn. Years have gone by. The disappointment has started to creep into your personal life, and you just start to get into that place of feeling a little bit hopeless. Amen. And you're wondering, why are all the people around me able to conceive, quote unquote, these promises in their life so easily? They apply for 5 jobs and they get an interview after one of those 5, and then they instantly step into the role. And yet you put in 300 applications and you're just not getting any bites. You've been trying to conceive a child for 8 years in your marriage, and your friend tries and has isn't even trying and gets pregnant with their spouse. What about those situations where every time it feels like you get ahead financially, some kind of crisis hits in your personal life, and then it sets you back to square one, and you just feel like you can't ever get out of this cycle of barrenness? Amen. Every time you get in a relationship, it just seems like it never works out for you. Amen. This can apply to a bunch of different areas of your personal life, right? But I want to tell you guys today that prolonged barrenness isn't the final report. Amen. You need to align yourself with the God report over your personal life. And what I really felt like God was showing me is that there are a lot of people that are coming from this season where there has been barrenness in a particular area of their lives that they have been contending for, not just for a short time, but for a long time. And there has been a lot of warfare that has come against the promises. Now, here's the interesting thing about all of these, lovely ladies that I just mentioned in the Bible who dealt with barrenness. Every single one of their kids we remember. Amen. Because they were highly influential people in the Bible. Isaac, Jacob and Esau, Joseph, the prophet Samuel, John the Baptist. These are all very significant figures in history. Amen. And I want to tell you guys, sometimes the reason that you have experienced so much resistance in an area of your life, whether it's finances, whether it's a physical child, whether it's in the area of your marriage one day, a godly marriage, pick an area, your health, right? Sometimes the reason that you have experienced so much resistance against that one area is because the devil has pinpointed that there is something great that's going to come from your life in this area. And he's trying to do everything that he can to get you discouraged, to not move forward, to try to, bring hindrance and all of that stuff. But I just want to encourage you guys, keep the faith, because guess what? God is the one who has the final say. Amen. And I know it's frustrating when you're looking around you and it seems like everybody else is able to step into these promises so easily in their personal life. I want to tell you guys from personal experience, a lot of times the areas where you will be attacked the most in your personal life are the areas where you're called to a place of ministry, are the areas where you're called to walk in great destiny. For example, let's say that you have dealt with a lot of health problems in your personal life. Maybe that means that you're going to walk in a healing ministry one day. Maybe there's been a lot of delay with your future marriage and with meeting the right godly spouse. Could be that God's calling you to minister to couples in a place of marriage on how to live out a godly marriage one day. And then let's say that you've encountered a lot of resistance in your finances. It could be that God's going to bless you enormously in that area one day, and that you're going to be a phenomenal steward of kingdom finances. Maybe you haven't been able to give birth to a child, and the devil has brought resistance and warfare against that promise, and he is trying his hardest to make you give up on the promises of God. It could be that you're just like Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, Elizabeth, Hannah, all of these people. It could be because, that kiddo that you're about to have has such phenomenal influence on their life that the devil has been trying to take them out before they even hit the earth, because he knows what a phenomenal impact that child is going to have. Amen. And so I just want to tell you guys today, all of these women probably suffered incredibly with a place of discouragement, with a place of hope deferred, of feeling forgotten by God, where it just felt like they had tried everything and nothing was working, in these circumstances. And they're like, God, I'm trying to be obedient. Is this happening because of a place of disobedience in my life? Some of you guys have literally asked God that question regarding different areas of your life. Maybe you're believing for a kingdom spouse. Maybe you're believing for an increase in your finances. Maybe you're believing for a promotion at work, and it just never seems to work out. There's so much resistance, and you're just tired of fighting. Amen. I want to tell you guys today, sometimes the reason there has been so much resistance is because there's greatness coming. Amen. It's because you're not just going to step into a little promise. There's something incredible that's going to be birthed through your life and through your circumstances. And the devil is terrified of that. But guess what? As long as you don't give up, as long as you hold on to the God report, that thing is getting birthed, whether the devil likes it or not. Amen. But what the devil wants you to do is for you to give up your authority in a place of discouragement. He wants you to give up your authority in a place of hopelessness. Because all you got to do is not quit and hold on to the God promise, and God will help to bring this stuff to pass in your personal life. Amen. But if the devil can get you to lay down your fight, to lay down your sword, then he knows that he's got you. He knows that he's got the battle won. If he can get you giving up in the place of prayer, if he can get you in a place of discouragement and hopelessness, if he can get you feeling like God is not for you and he doesn't care, if he can pitch you against God, who is the one who wants to help you, if he can get you believing that God cares about other people more than he cares about you because they got stuff first. Often the reason that these other people were able to obtain it so easily, and this is not knocking them, because I believe God can bring incredible gifts into people's lives a lot of ways. But often the reason they were able to step into it more easily is because the call wasn't as great in that particular area. Amen. The reason that they didn't deal with as much resistance is it wasn't as much of a threat, ladies and gents. And so I'm hopping on to talk to you guys, because this is really a prophetic word today, to speak into the lives of those who have dealt with prolonged barrenness in a particular area of their lives today. Ladies and gents, that's not the final report. What does the Bible have to say about your situation? What does God have to say about your situation? You hang on to that God report, ladies and gents. Don't you dare lay down your sword in a place of prayer. You keep praising God for the victory. You keep fighting through, and don't you dare let the devil convince you that God has forgotten about you. Amen. Sometimes the reason you have been encountering so much resistance in your personal life over a particular area is because God is about to blow your mind with the things that he has for you. Don't you dare give up. Amen. Hope you guys have a great day. I'll chat with you again soon.